Now in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my final team selection of the group stage and of course run you through all the key data you need to make the best decisions in match day 3. Now before we dive into today's video, of course if you do enjoy any of the content that you see on the channel, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe as we are trying to hit 15,000 subscribers on the channel before the launch of the new Premier League season. It would be absolutely amazing if we could smash that goal. So like I said, if you do enjoy the content, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. Let's take a look then how we got on in match day 2. Obviously there's still 1 day's worth of games, so we're probably going to have a little bit of a rank decrease. No Juve, no Manchester City, so we're probably going to take a little bit of a hit unless Vinicius Jr. decides that he wants to cook up in his game at 8 o'clock tonight. That would be pretty good. Obviously, he's going to get subbed in for Samuel Xavier, who unfortunately didn't start the game, so only got us 1 point. In terms of the overall defence, though, the double Palmeiras defence went exceptionally well. A 9 for Weatherton and Pugliese with a 8. Otamendi was a player that I identified that I wanted from Benfica. He's such a presence from set pieces. He had a little bit of an opportunity, but he managed to get himself, of course, an assist as well in the game, picking up a clean sheet. We take the 10-pointers every single day. Svensson, despite a 4-3 scoreline, actually managed to get an assist, so not too bad in the grand scheme of things. However, it is where we enter the midfield, where there's a few mistakes that I believe I've made personally and gone against some of my own kind of workflows that I usually go for with fantasy games. I wanted Michael Olise. I said the numbers against Boca looked good. He got himself a fantastic goal. Kvaratskhelia, pretty much a shock result for PSG. I think, a lot of my kind of fan team and Bet365 teams also heavily loaded with, PSG players have struggled this week. And I think that's just kind of a little bit of one of those I've just got to have to suck up. It was a shock result. People weren't expecting it. They were around 16-1 to win that game with Botafogo. So it's a little bit of a shock result, but I'm happy that we've got them players in for the Seattle fixture. Artoglu, though, is the real big mistake for me. I went against my own principles. I went against the talisman. I went against Di Maria, which is something that I don't usually do. I like to have, the people that pretty much, take the penalties, take all the set pieces. And I went against that for some reason. I don't know why I didn't go for Di Maria. I went for Artoglu. He had the chances. But Di Maria, those 2 penalties were killers. And it pretty much sums in why I always want to target the kind of the set piece takers, the penalty takers, those talisman that usually if a team scores, I guarantee that player has got some sort of involvement in it. That goes with Eris as well. I mean, the guy absolutely smashed it last night. A free kick which was sensational. I believe he created 6 chances as well, which is unbelievable to be honest. Could have had an assist early doors as well. Pick one up late in the game, but a 14-pointer from him, an absolute mega haul. So very, very happy that we went with him. But again, he fits that talisman profile. Penalties, corners, free kicks. He takes the lot. So why did I not do that with the Benfica game? I don't know, to be honest. I really, really don't know. But thankfully, we got a captain return this week. I wasn't switching off of Pavlidis' 11 points. I'm still waiting for FIFA to respond to my email. If you saw that on Twitter, I emailed them asking where the second assist was for Pavlidis. We haven't got a response yet, but you never know. We might manage to get one out. But overall, I was like, you know what? We're sticking with the 11 points, especially after the heartbreak last week. We could have obviously kept gambling and got Eris' 14 points and turned that into 28. But overall, I'll take what we've got. We're currently ranked 3.5k. Like I said, we're probably going to drop a little bit unless Vinicius really pops off in his fixture later. But you never know. We can hope. It should be a decent fixture. Let's hope. Let's hope for the best, eh? Let's move on then to some data before we take a look at how my team is going to be lined up for match day 3. Of course, this is the data from 11ify. If you want to go and check it out, there is a link in the description to their amazing website. These are their match day 3 numbers. As you can see, Chelsea towards the top, PSG, Boca. Interestingly, I reckon if they updated these, Boca probably would be top of this list, considering how bad Auckland have been. But nevertheless, still a team I would be looking to target. Same with Paris Saint-Germain, same with Chelsea. All these fixtures now still rely on them getting results in the final game as well. Real Madrid as well, depending on what they do tonight. Atleti are up there, Borussia Dortmund are up there as well. But, they probably need still a little bit of something. So definitely teams I would be looking to target. In terms of the defence, no surprise that we see Boca top of that list. I think the betting markets have currently got them priced at an 88% chance of a clean sheet against Auckland City. So definitely worth some sort of investment into Boca Juniors, whether that be the attackers or the defenders. Chelsea as well, if Levi Colwill stays under 5%, could be a nice potential differential with the table boost. PSG, so Hakimi looking decent value. Dortmund, I think the way that they've defended in this tournament, I'm not expecting too much out of them in terms of clean sheets for that one. Flamingo could be worth a look as well. I know the betting markets are also suggesting opportunities of clean sheets for them as well. So it could be a decent opportunity to maybe look for some differentials under kind of that, 5% bracket that we could also see. Same goes with Fluminense on the final day. They've got plenty of players like we just spoke about, heirs, some defenders as well, all under 5% that you could massively milk for that scouting bonus in match day 3. Moving on to the final point I wanted to raise before we obviously take a look at my team, and this is going to be taking hits. Now, I've spoke about this quite a few times in the build-up to the game. Obviously, match day 2 was the original week that I'd outlined that I was going to take massive hits. But obviously, circumstances changed. I played the wildcard in the end. However, now we're in match day 3. There's a lot of room that probably needs to be made with my team, and I'm thinking about taking those hits again. So why should you take a hit? Let's talk you through it. So a hit in this game is a -3 rather than a -4 in FPL. So already 25% saving on the hit that we usually see with Champions League Fantasy or FPL. There's more scoring routes as well, which I think is the big kind of caveat as well of why I would be looking for it. So again, it's obviously one less point to claw back. If you go for a player under 5%, they're getting that 2% scouting bonus. Of course, we've got the direct free kick, which can get you an extra point. We've got the chances created. We have the shots on target. So there's more methods to points as well, which is always a good route to potentially claw back some of that minus. And then players pick up basic action points even more. Like they get one more point for the basic action. So goals, clean sheets, they're all picking up more points for doing those things. 1+ point for scoring a goal, which is your basic action. And then the big reason, again, why I'm further instigating taking hits in this game is the fact that you've got such one-sided matchups. For example, in match day 3, looking at the betting markets, Auckland are priced at 125 to 1. This, for me, is the perfect time to be targeting those one-sided fixtures. You're not going to get this in FPL or in Champions League Fantasy. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get these big one-sided games where teams are absolutely going to wallop. Maybe in the Champions League, if somebody's playing like Dynamo Zagreb, you might potentially get something. Obviously, Bayern did them dirty earlier in the season, but most of the time, it's going to be quite close quarter games. This, for me, is the reason that I would be recommending hits to you guys. Target these easy fixtures. Tunis for Chelsea, Seattle Sounders for PSG, and of course, Auckland City are going to be the ones that I think, it's worth just taking a hit on, in my opinion. The current plans that I'm going to show to you are just a -3, but I do have -6 and -9 options as well. Of course, I'll be discussing those on the deadline stream on Monday night. So if you are new to the channel as well, make sure you're hitting subscribe with the bell notification on so you will be notified when I do, of course, go live. But let's go ahead and take a look then at how my team is lining up for match day 3. And of course, my -6 and my -9 options as well. Okay, wasting no time, let's run through my team selection then heading into match day 3. Like I said, I'm going to run you through 3 versions of my team. This is going to be the version that I'm leaning towards the most. It is just a -3 at the moment, but we're also going to run through the -6 and -9 options as well. Let me know in the comments which options you do prefer, 1, 2 or 3, and maybe on the deadline we'll do a poll and whatever gets the most votes we might just go with, to be honest. But yeah, it is just a bit of game of fun at the end of the day. Let's start off then with our goalkeeper pairing. It is going to be Weatherton and for Fabio, sorry. There's no point in me changing goalkeepers. I say this every single time. They're one of those positions that just doesn't score enough for me warranting to be taking hits or looking for better players. But even still, Fluminense and Palmeiras still have pretty decent opportunities of clean sheets in their opening few fixtures. As I do just scan through my notes, 48% chance for Palmeiras, so Piquez and Weatherton both still under 5% with decent opportunities of a clean sheet and of course scouting bonus as well. And then we've got Fluminense as well with a 42% chance of a clean sheet. As you can see, Fabio currently again under 3.3% if of course we did need to go for him as a potential option. Let's move on then into the back line. We've got Blanco, probably the most, I would say, favoured pick from the Boca Juniors lot, to be honest. Obviously picked up an attacking return as well in match day 2. He is currently under 5%. So again, I don't know if that's going to hold up until the deadline, but getting in a Boca Juniors defender with such a high probability, as we saw from the 11FI data with a clean sheet numbers, looking at the betting numbers here, an 83% probability of a clean sheet, which is absolutely ridiculous. So pretty much you're probably going to be guaranteeing yourself 9 points. If you can manage to get himself an attack and return, which he's very, very capable of, we could be looking at a double-digit haul from the defender here. Let's move into our next defender. It is going to be Hakimi. I spoke about how good that fixture is for PSG, a 60% probability of a clean sheet for them as well. Obviously, one of the most attacking fullbacks within Europe, so I really, really like him as an option. Now, Samuel Xavier didn't play in the last game, and, you know, there were some few defensive frailties, so maybe he drafts himself back in. Again, though, I'm not going to maybe take a hit on him. I think maybe if I was to do a hit with this team, it probably would be for potentially another Boca defender there. That maybe would be the hit that we do for Samuel Xavier. Find a cheaper defender from Boca. Look to go for that double up in terms of defensive numbers, because like I said, they are so good, and I'm a little bit unsure which midfielder to actually pick from their side. So maybe that is the move. Maybe that's the -6 move we do take. We go double Boca, something that I had on my wildcard, with an 83% probability of a clean sheet. Again, find one under 9%, so we're going to be under 5%, sorry, so we're going to be picking up between 9 and 8 points, depending on cards and stuff like that. That, to me, seems like it could be worth the -3, in my opinion, for a player that is a little bit of a doubt and has around a 0.5% chance of the clean sheet that which Boca are predicting. Svensson is in here as well. He's not under 5%. It's not the most ideal fixture, I believe. Olsen still have, you know, actually they don't have anything to play for. They're out. I forgot they lost last night. Yeah, Olsen are done. 58% chance. Dortmund still could win the group, still could come second. So they've still got a little bit on the line to potentially play for as well. A 58% chance of a clean sheet, but I think given some of the defensive performances from Dortmund in this tournament, I'm not feeling too confident about anything from him. So yeah, again, but I'm not going to take him out with that 58% chance. I'm just going to back the bookmakers, believe what they say, but still, I'm not feeling overly great about it. One player I think has definitely been kind of, you know, one of the players of the tournament so far is Michael Olise. Now, their fixture against Benfica, I haven't been overly impressed with Benfica in the opening 2 games. Bayern with 2.01 projected goals. Again, though, there might be some rotation with Bayern already winning their opening 2 games, and Michael Olise potentially could fall victim to that. However, Bayern might just want to finish this group strong, get the win, complete the group on 9 points, and progress as the main ones. Maybe there might be an early substitution for Michael Olise as well, but still, in my opinion, one of the best players at this tournament so far. Kvaratskhelia is in here. PSG have 2.89 projected goals from the bookmakers. Super unfortunate not to have come away with an attacking return against Botafogo. I think he was probably one of the standout players from that game. Of course, 2 assists in the opening day against Atletico. Hit the bar as well within that one. So very unfortunate. Gives me a great captaincy option as well for the opening round of games, does Kvaratskhelia. And you do feel like he's going to fit that kind of talisman profile that I've been looking at, if of course Dembele is out. Next up, again, is going to be one of the players of the tournament so far. It is going to be Pedro Neto, an absolute must-win for Chelsea in the final game. 2.61 projected goals from the bookmakers. Now, they've not looked very fluid going forward as an attacking unit, but Pedro Neto has been the standout player with his 2 goals. Been very good, very creative. Played 90 minutes in both games as well, so I don't see any reason why he wouldn't play another 90 as well, with Chelsea needing all 3 points heading into that one. Next up is going to be Moura. Very, very disappointing. I was expecting a lot more from him in the Inter Miami game. Didn't really deliver. Al Ali, though, there's a 1.92 projected goals, so there's definitely an opportunity for him here at 4.2 million, but he's not a pick that really wets the whistle, to be honest, does Moura. I kind of regret picking him at that cheaper price point, to be honest. He's just not that guy, really is. He's not really shown what he has produced at times this season, and hasn't really lived up to the hype or the expectations that a lot of people were putting on him pre-tournament as well. Next up is my golden boy Erez. I mean, yeah, we're going to have to stick with this guy, aren't we? They still need something from the final game of the group. Like I said, he fits all the talisman profiles that I usually look for with players. Penalties, free kicks, corners. And like I said, just watch the free kick that he scored last night. Absolutely unbelievable. Honestly, cracking stuff from him. Big fan of his work. I've never ever watched him before. Now I'm a big fan. I'm definitely a big fan. Let's move into our front line then. We've got Julian Alvarez, 1.83 projected goals for Atleti against a very difficult Botafogo. So I'm unsure what to do with him, to be honest, because he is a little bit of a problem. Blanked in match day 2 as well as match day 1. Match day 2, though, got the penalty taken off him, had a big chance missed, hit the bar. He had his opportunities. I wish I'd gone Guirassy. I'd feel a lot more kind of comfortable heading into this game week. But Alvarez, he's definitely let the side down a little bit, to be honest. And there's still, as we'll see with the other plans, might be one of those players that does unfortunately make way. Finishing up is going to be Mertel, obviously with Boca Juniors, 5.39 projected goals heading into the game against Auckland. He's already scored in this tournament as well. So he's the player that, you know, I do want to target from the attacking standpoint. There's rumours that Edison Cavani might be back in training as well, so we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But I still think, you know, Cavani doesn't just get dropped straight into the game. He's maybe one of those players that does just come off the bench. I still feel like Mertel will lead the line in my personal opinion. Then finally, it is going to be Vinicius. Real Madrid, again, we're still waiting to decide what actually is going to be happening with Real Madrid. What do they need from the final fixture? Do they need a win? But you feel they should still comfortably get one against Salzburg. 2.61 projected goals for them. And let's wait and see on Vinicius. I can't really comment on his, you know, just match day one performance, which wasn't great. But overall, Real Madrid weren't a good side in that one. So maybe if he improves in match day 2, we're going to be looking at a better option overall. Let's take a look then at my other plans that I've got. So that's plan 1. Like I said, we maybe could turn that into a -6 and get double Boca defense. I don't hate that as a -6 move. Then we look to the second option. This is a -6 already, and you're seeing some big changes already. So we've dropped Pedro Neto. We've gone for Zenon, who I believe is the free kick and corner taker for Boca Juniors. Again, going for that double attack. They might need goal difference to potentially sneak through this group. You can see we've gone for Mertel and Blanco already as well. But the spicy pick in here, especially amongst engaged players, is going to be Dembele. And we're probably going to get team news before the deadline, I hope. Depends when FIFA decides to close the game. But Dembele could be a really, really exciting pick. Like I said, the projected goal numbers are looking decent for PSG. Seattle, for me, have been very, very unfortunate not to receive a proper walloping in this tournament. And I think PSG, needing something in this final fixture, definitely could deliver that killer blow. And if Dembele is available, like I said, he could be a real big differential amongst the engaged community, in my personal opinion. Let's take a look then at the -9 option. Also has Dembele in, has Pedro Neto in, and actually has Guirassy. We've dropped Alvarez. I thought Guirassy had plenty of opportunities yesterday. 2.83 against awesome projected goals for Borussia Dortmund as well. So could be a really interesting pick. But I like this as a -9, you know. I think this looks pretty decent. Like, we've got all the fixtures I want to be targeting. Boca, Chelsea, PSG, Dortmund. It is a -9. It is going to require some big scores to hold that back. But even still, like I said, like I spoke about in the earliest parts of this video, there's definitely the opportunities to pull that -9 back with some of the hits that you can take, and obviously the point scoring metrics within this game. Let me know in the comment section which option you would go for, 1, 2, or 3. I'm definitely going to be taking a hit this week. It just depends how large that hit is going to be. Of course, I will be discussing this all live on the deadline, so make sure you're getting yourself there, locked and loaded, and ready for match day 3.